Just finished. Elsa just picked up 8 pieces of rice and continued to speak. It's okay if you don't feel good. Let's say that after we leave. Your Majesty's aide used to glassware with the Mardi and Jez tribesmen. How successful is it? Lisa immediately happily continued to speak. Very good effect. According to the detective report, tribe Messi is very confident that we work with Ga. Now, the 2 tribes have become enemies. Your Majesty is so good that you can think of such a good way. I hear that. Elsa held a cup of tea in her hand and replied. After the storm, both tribes had to rebuild to compete for resources. There will be an impulse to suspect each other. I'm just releasing some news. Lisa continued. Except for the injured department, our soldiers are ready to fight. Your Majesty, or before the reinforcements arrive, fight a battle with the tribe. Maxi lowers their spirits. Elsa quickly replied that she could not. It's hard to guarantee 2 tribes won't make peace. More than our forces in front of us. If you leave the army, there will be danger. Reinforcements and supplies should be coming these days. She watches the technique. Suddenly coming in from the outside. The young man ran into the report. Your Highness, there's a large group of centaurs coming towards us. I don't know if it's an enemy or a friend. I heard that. Lisa frowned. Maybe not Lee the cockroach. See through Maxi and Ezzy together hit through here. Just finished, Elsa said in a loud voice. Centripetal aggregation. Prepare to welcome the enemy. Lisa, you go. Follow me. We'll go ahead and investigate. On the vast prairie. Lisa looked far away. You said, Your Majesty, is that group of people 20 kilometers outside the territory? Elsa saw that. Ella frowned. Their muscles are very similar to the Messi tribe. Lisa said with a nervous expression. Your Highness is a member of the Messi Sao tribe. They come in aggressive. Maybe I'll go back and call someone right away. I hear that. Elsa calmly hurried, something waiting for me to see. That's it. Elsa, get the binoculars. She took up observation. It seems Elsa discovers something that surprises her. Lisa hurriedly asked His Majesty. Maybe they didn't really come together. What do you say? Don't be silent. Elsa sat for a long time. Then she said, Kai, what Maxi Jez tribe? That's the centaur of Liu Feng, he said. Elsa immediately threw the binoculars towards. Lisa, quick hand grab and answer. Is the person of His Majesty Liu Feng Sao? Finished talking. Lisa put up her binoculars and watched her happily. It's really the centaur of His Majesty Liu Feng. The national flag of Han Dynasty and Maxi are the same. From this gas, whether it's personnel or supplies. More than our own rescue. Your Majesty is so good to us. Your Majesty will help us so. It must be because I like Your Majesty. I hear that. Elsa was embarrassed and coughed up a few hours later. Elsa closed her eyes and said something casually. Always in the mood to joke. Go get them. After delivery to the distribution site. The medicine is taken to the hospital. Let the people of the Han Dynasty rest. Lisa immediately said yes. Your Majesty, why? Elsa looked up at the sky and said. Of course, I have something more important. If the reinforcements are here, it's time to show up. I hear that. Lisa was curious and asked His Majesty just now. Not to say, there's danger. Suddenly, Elsa laughed and said. The danger is relative. There are dangerous resources that will become opportunities. I hear that. Elsa looked annoyed and screamed out loud. Don't be shy anymore. Go and guide me to meet General Han. The kingdom will come out immediately. Lisa panicked and said, Yes, Your Majesty. Elsa turned to look at the soldiers. Then, in a loud voice, you heard what I said. Nominal speed just ended. The soldiers all said yes. Finished processing. Elsa looked up at the sky. You often think that Messi and Ezzy are already in their pockets, waiting to catch. They'll immediately put the hostage in the mineral. I promised your majesty. Or you can take the liberty of seeing him yourself. This time at the school, Liu Feng's people were laughing together. Liu Feng said, the long-awaited party is finally here. I want to open my stomach. I hear that. My mom wonder. I asked why I arranged it in the afternoon. Ellie answered Nicola as soon as she finished. Afraid we eat too many nights and can't sleep. Afternoon meal easy to digest. Jenny hurried on. What a great party to look forward to. I hear that. Then the great feast that pushes the door will know. Step inside the room. A table filled with a wide variety of food. Princess Gil looked up and said, This is SAO heaven. First time seeing so many things. How to make a special meal too much. Everyone is fascinated by it. Because of the diversity of food. Can't resist. I see Nicola with a tray of food. Go to the front of the wind. Then laughed master. Why didn't you come over there so stupid? I hear that. He laughed and replied, Nicola, you are so good. When I asked you what you wanted to do. I'm just talking about the form of payment. I can't believe you really did it. Nicola replied happily. If you want to eat, you can do it. Then Ellie asked young Master Nicola. What are you two whispering? Come and see that, Nicola laughed. Why don't people eat to cool down? So Ellie put her hand on the nun's shoulder. And then you say you're the hardest. How dare we move our chopsticks? Just withdrew. My ghost is right, Princess Gil continued. Sit down and see, Nicola said. Big party today, due to young master raw money. Can we ask the young master to say a few words? When I heard that, my ghost laughed. I am in a hurry to find out what the master wants to say. Ellie laughed and continued. The young man is so poor. Invite us to a party. To say. When he heard that, he laughed. Actually, this time it's to comfort people who have struggled in sports. 2 is to celebrate the elite ranks people achieve in sports. It's like a family party. And the busy one is Nicola. I'm not going to make any more speeches. This kind of food, it's a real American in my hometown that I call morning tea. It's about starting a beautiful day. Although it's the afternoon. But I'm here to wish you all the rest of the party. Every day is beautiful. I hear that. Everyone is happy and knows how to talk. Every day of the future will be fine. I'll remember this day forever. Thank you, young master. Then Princess Gil discovered something. She glared at the wind. In the aesthetic mind that, if your majesty had said today was a good day, help them out today, so that Jenny can be at your majesty's side as she pleases. Think it over. Princess Gil immediately chipped away. Enjoy the taste of delicious food. After eating, take a deep breath and say, It's too good. Nicola's right. Of course, Ellie frowned and continued to speak. No, I'm not full. I can eat. When he heard that, he laughed. Nico Lottie told me to bring the digestive soup. He's not that fast. If people talk too much, just like Jenny's group, go out for a walk. Mima immediately stood up and said, I have this idea. Ellie continued her words. I'm going too. I have to stop. Then I turned to look at him and asked. Young master, are you going? I hear that. It took me 5 seconds without a word. See so, Princess Gil aesthetic that? It's not. It was hard to get Jenny to the balcony. Your Majesty wants to go for a walk. So my plan is to do what? After a while, he said, I am not going anywhere. Princess Gil was delighted to hear that. Lucky. Fortunately, the opportunity has come, and you just need to bring your Majesty up. Hoa under the moon, beautiful scenery. The two of them must be. When you think about it, you immediately laugh. Save your Majesty. Jenny's easel and colors on the top floor balcony. We can't leave. Can you help? When he heard that, he laughed. Okay, let's go. Princess Gil laughed and said, Thank you, Your Majesty. Curious, he asked. Why is her stuff on the balcony? I heard that, Gil replied. Jenny wanted to paint the sunset. At this time, the owner is on the balcony. Jenny is sitting alone sad. She sighed dejectedly. Sao Gil is not up yet. Now in Jenny's head aesthetics that. She said she wanted to see the medal with me. Tell me to wait here. And she doesn't see the shadow. Maybe she didn't run to the kitchen. I forgot about you. It's finally here. She has no concept of time. I have to scare her. Let's see if she dares next time. And then Jenny got angry and screamed. I kept you waiting so long for this deep ba. Jenny slammed her hand in the front. Unfortunately, you hit him. Save Feng see that. Jenny said in her mind that young master. So I fell back into the young man's heart. Jenny was embarrassed to say. I thought Gil was coming. Sorry. The young man has insulted you. When he heard that, he laughed. No, why did Gil call me to Gil in the back? She finished speaking, and Jenny immediately turned her head. Like there's no one in the back. The bewildered monk said. She was clearly behind me just now. Jenny then surmised that Gil must have deliberately matched himself and the young master. They tricked us into coming here. It's her. I don't want to tell you what he means to me or not. Even my own background is not suitable. Gil just wants to be good for himself. I should still be quick to take things out. And then Jenny said, Master, I'm sorry. We just want to joke with the kids. I didn't expect the young man to come. It's true that Jenny's expression seems unusual. Aesthetic storm, this reaction is not true. Maybe they didn't mean to bring me here. There's something I want to tell you. But now I dare not say. And then the leper stood outside the balcony. He said he didn't need to. Sorry, there is no joke. I didn't even know it was a full moon. I haven't seen such a beautiful full moon in a long time. Jenny just finished saying yes, very beautifully. And Jenny's head wondering. Why did the young man not go? Maybe he didn't find out. Then Liu Feng said to her, It's been a while since school, Jenny. Are you used to life here? Jenny laughed when she heard that. Used to. I know the young master very well, and everyone treats me very well. I also love teaching students to paint. I'm happy every day. I hear that. Save the wind gently. Put your hand on Jenny's head and say, Don't worry, I'm just talking. Then Jenny lowered her head. A thoughtful expression on his face. I must have said it too perfectly. The young man does not believe. Jenny hurried to explain after thinking. To be honest, it's fun here. But I also remember the mountain. There is also someone I value. Sometimes I remember their expectations. I'm also a little miserable. Heard here, save Feng bewildered aesthetic that she wants to go back to Lausanne with Gil. Jenny too. You have your own thoughts. Mom and Gil want to be happy. Now, even if the condition doesn't match, I should at least express my opinion to the young master. That way you can return safely. Think about it. And suddenly, both Jen and Jenny said the same thing. That's for eyes staring at each other right now. Save the God said, no matter what, convince her to stay. Leave is also possible, but I have to go back. When you think about it, tell me first. Then Jenny held the medal in her hand. She was shy to say, "This gold medal is for the young master." The astonished monk replied here. It was her first gold medal. It means something to you. I can't take it. Jenny was embarrassed to say so. Please don't refuse. I really want to give it to you. She secretly thought that, because this is where we win. It also represents my mind. Before carelessly diving into the young master's heart, also stop. I am now holding the young master's hand. See, so save the beauty, Jenny. This is the determination to go. That's why I gave this to you. I have to convince her to stay. When I finished thinking, I said, "Thank you for giving me this precious gift. I will definitely cherish." I hear that. Jenny secretly thought the young master was so gentle. They are so gentle that they give people courage. One step further. Lord Gil stood in the back silently watching. You are talking about your death. Even the hands are red. These two are SAO elementary students. Love is pure like that. Jenny, why? That's such a good opportunity. Go ahead. The female student is a distant floor. If you take the initiative, you'll have a chance. Jenny replied in a low voice. What do you think about your own daughter? I hear that. Save the feng shui despite thinking that. She used to say she wasn't loved. After Gil came, except to say I was Jenny's sister. Before now, never mentioned the king and queen in front of her. Then Ra Jenny is the king's stepson. If that's why she wants to go. Jenny was thinking in her head right now. Open as a young man. I will hate my own daughter as much as anyone else. What am I thinking? It's a funny step forward. Then Jenny said, my son is not. What else? I've heard that before. Princess Gil is angry. I consider myself blind. Why do you think it's appropriate to save the wind? I want to push Jenny for him. Embarrassed Jenny said the young master slept well. And Jenny left immediately. Stopped bewildered and looked at Theo. The devil said that. If that stepdaughter doesn't do anything to hurt you, I feel like I can see there should be no thought about her. Although her background is an indelible trace of her. But any AI is also an independent individual. Decide who she is. Is it worthy of respect or not? It's not her background. It's her behavior and her qualities. I hear that. Jenny turned her head and looked at her with tears in her eyes. Save Fong, continued Jenny. You're a very good girl. Your own identity is not your fault. You don't have to be self-deprecating for it. At this time, the Lost Sun Palace heard a loud cry. Don't touch me. She's about the same age as Gil. If you do that, what will love think? When he heard that, La Sun replied, sorry, it's all my fault. But the baby was. You can't kill both of them, can you? If we don't take them to a remote palace. If you can't see it is quiet. Jenny is a child, born from the father's peach blossom. When I was young with my mother, her identity is a lady. A child is not welcome. Then the love of the queen and her majesty. Increasingly salty. Gradually more harmonious. The queen doesn't like us. The king wanted to marry the queen. Pushed us to a secluded palace. Here, Jenny and I live happily together. Jenny's mom laughed and told me, even without pen and paper, we can still paint a beautiful picture. I heard that. Jenny was a kid. She laughed casually. The mother was very good. She said the palace was remote. It's actually just a small bungalow. We're here to spend days without clothes. Lack of food, being bullied by others. My mother has never said a word. She's trying to keep us alive. Taught me to draw. Then one day, Jenny's mother became very ill. My mother told me before she died that, Jenny, my child, you must get out of this place. Don't be tied up in this place. I hear that. Jenny as a child cried for 2 hours. Mother body. But it all changed when I was 6. Jenny was sitting next to her mother's body. You cry and call your mother to wake up. There were 2 billion women standing there watching. They say that. She's also pathetic. He was digging flowers like that. How many people are happy? She's the only one who's pregnant. But life is like this. The girl standing next to him hurriedly continued. What is poor? Take her away quickly, and you will die. Remember the memories of childhood, Jenny whispered on. As a child, I don't know what death means. Lost the protection of the mother. My circumstances have changed completely. From quietly whispering to Ra's face bullying me. Jenny had pinched her ear. The entourage screams loudly. Admit yourself to being a dog. I will feed you the dog. At that time, only Princess Gil stood out to protect Jenny. Gil stood in front of Jenny angrily saying, "Stop. Why did you bully her?" Hearing that, the entourage hurriedly explained to the princess. People who don't know can't tell. Entourage standing next to, he grabbed her shirt and cut her off. Her crazy princess Gil Bobby, candid. I like to help others get justice. Don't you piss her off. Gil fell from the sky to save me. She has royal hair and eye color. There's a difference with me in confidence and courage. Gil then took the bread and walked up to Jenny and asked, You are your own child. Jenny ran away scared and said, Excuse me, I didn't expect Gil to know my identity. She gave me clothes and food and I was scared. Feel so guilty, so quickly run away. Gil brought the bread. Put your head in and talk. Why did you eat this? Let me get you some bread. Then I don't know if she ordered it. No one comes to rape me anymore. What I was most surprised by was, a few days later Gil arrived. Maybe it's in the palace. There's only 2 of us girls. She feels lonely. Or perhaps for the noble education of Her Majesty the Queen. She didn't seem to see us, but also to transfer hatred to her most beloved girl. Our feelings are getting more and more attached. Often hide from the palace women everywhere, impulses year after year. We've all grown up. I always remember my mother's words. Very quickly I found the opportunity. Uncle Lester on orders to go to the Han Dynasty. I packed my luggage all night, hiding in the boat's inventory. Then I met the kids. Although I live a very happy life, but in the afternoon, I still remember my identity. The feeling of this happy life. It's like stealing. After unconsciously falling in love with you, My sense of inferiority is growing. When he heard that, he was surprised and said, other places we may not be able to manage. At least on this land we're equal. Not to mention the right and wrong of parents. Your previous life has nothing to do with you. I hear that. Jenny lowered her head and lowered her voice. Missing GIA. Just finished. Jenny swooped in to embrace the exile. She was embarrassed to say, Master, I like you. Then Jenny gently gave a sweet kiss. Sweet for the wind. After kissing, Jenny stepped back. Jenny continued, I've liked you for a long time. Due to my own child's condition, I am very self-indulgent, but as the young master said, we are equal. I accept Jenny. So I have no reason not to show up. I heard these words from Jenny. It took me 5 seconds to stand up. Jenny continued, even if there is the possibility of no response, but I've used my gut feeling to express myself. I don't seem to have any faith in me. I will try to love the young master later. I ask permission to leave the young master goodbye. Okay, so Jenny, 3 legs for legs, run away. See that? He raised his hand to his lips and said, girls are so big now. 1 is coercion. Kiss and run away. I seem to remember a proverb. The man outside must protect himself. Princess Gil was hiding behind the door. She likes to whisper. There is this kiss. Save your majesty. I'll be more careful with Jenny later. It seems like you've achieved your goal. I'm feeling a little hungry. Or go to Nicholas to see if there's anything good to eat. Over here. Shame. He raised his hand and scratched his head. Let go of nature. Ellie came closer and said, it turns out you're here with important intelligence. I hear that. He handed out his hand and took the letter and asked. Why? Ellie continued. We got the telegram from Asia. In the telegram said, Tim Mo and Niu Dai have come out before the war. He kept the letter and read it line by line. He said it's based on the current delivery times. Tim Mo Thi and Big Fish. He will soon face the army of the adventurers. Notification to the telegraph command room. After the news of my direct transfer home. And the Air Force is ready to go straight to the palace. Do adventure. It's 5 kilometers outside the palace. The army is advancing. The man next to him glanced and said, all thanks to the right command. We've won the battle one after another. Just get the mule in front of you. Then the back of the Tim Mo Thi territory. It'll be in our pockets. At that time, do you need to celebrate? When I heard that, I said, stand up. The city is a place of natural interest. It's easy to make, it's not easy to break. Even though they have won battles recently. But Timothy's guerrilla methods. It makes our fighters very tired. The state is not very good. Just withdrew. The next man said to the Lord, you are too modest and cautious. Not talking about everybody's been around Timothy's army. Just within a month. Consistently winning the battle. The fighters are a little tired. But the atmosphere is soaring. Air tank high. Fighting endlessly. For a while, it finally arrived. Take a look for a moment and say, when you get there and go through this place, it's a dead end. When he saw that, the servant said, Master, is the location of this narrow cup too dangerous? If there is an ambush. I heard that, but I can't accept it calmly. In intelligence say, Timothy's defenses were shattered. There is no strength to resist. So she went all the way to the city. We can't increase our military either. Today, there are just over 5,000. Who was stationed there? They're all just good workers. Of course, never actively attacked us. The city is small, but it's a very important issue. You just need to clear this place. We think of it as Timothy's neck. Just chase it straight ahead. The rear fortresses of Timothy's domain. It's an important place to fight. And she doesn't even take Russ seriously. She's too young. Maybe 7 defeats in a month. So I gave up my resistance. Standing on the horse, he raised his hand to the sky and said, "Accelerate straight ahead, defeat to the death, ha. You all have rewards." "I hear that." The army behind him immediately responded. In the sky, eagles fluttered free. It's perched on top of the mountain. The bird standing next to the robins. Robin's got dynamite in his hand right now. And then he started to light it up. Robin threw the dynamite down. He seemed interested in exploding. The explosives just fell down. Outside the city of the family, the guard is calling for soldiers to come forward, to rush up to the front. The opportunity to earn merit has come. All the soldiers are coming up. Kill them all. But the rest of the world doesn't know. Tim Moti's men are preparing the explosives to ambush soldiers under Tim Moti, throwing grenades at the bottom. Let the horse stop. He was wondering what this is. Why do I have a sense of danger? It's not time to restore the shape. What is dangerous? There were explosions in front of him. He grinds his teeth helplessly with anger. How can this thing be so powerful? What the hell deserves to die? Where did they get this weapon? Creating such a trap. It's not time to turn around now. Can only rush forward. In a loud voice, give orders to the entire army. People can't listen to orders. The chaos continues straight ahead. Only if you get out of the canyon can you survive. On the 2 sides of the mountain, a worried soldier and told Robin, his master, "Lord, they really keep moving forward. Very fast speed." Robin also thinks that this is not bad. Quick response. Command properly. The person below is very strong. But Lord Robin also smiled and said, "Only regret that intelligence is betrayed by intelligence. Send the command down. All the gladiators in the canyon will come down with us immediately. Let's go off and chase behind." The soldiers are calm. Soldiers under the command of the. When you get out of the canyon, they were talking about what it was. It's scary. The guy who got hit is gone. Do we need to retreat, cowards? Maybe I was scared. To see the soldiers draft. Talk to each other, then feel uneasy. He shouted, "Stop chattering. Correct the line to raise vigilance." At the right time, there's a voice behind you. "I thought you were going to explode a little more. You can escape." Then Ra is His Highness Tim Moti. She laughed and mocked the deacon. Although ambushed, but they have a very fast reaction rate. I don't know if there's a general under the wing. That's interesting. Submit to me not. You get angry and think it's broken. Unexpected Tim at the front of the line. Except for that kind of hard dance. They still lead the army. Tim Mo waited forever to see AI submit. She raised her hand to command. Looks like this general won't give in. You didn't come up like that. A tank came in and fired a lot of bullets. When I saw the tank, I panicked. What kind of weapon is this? Now we lead an elite army. There is still a chance to escape, but your majesty will surely punish you. I only saw soldiers under me. The guard is under fire in the tank. Tim Mo's side executed for the left. Taurus 5 tells Tim Modi, "Your Majesty, we must have succeeded, right?" He also urged Tim Modi. Within 10 consecutive minutes, explode for 2 times, enough to make their minds obsessive. "Your Majesty, let's start collecting the net." Tim said, "It's already started, look." Tim Mo Thi, only Niu 5 and Niu Dai know better about restoring. According to my experience, he has repeatedly commanded combat, whether limited by the impact of the explosive. He never ran away from the contrast either. He'll lead the elite army to continue the assault. Let's see the real power of our weapons. The guard is screaming. He said that Modi is a great trick. You look down on us. Confirmed to lead the elite army forward. Attack on the Modi side. As 5, when you see that, you nod in front of Tim Moth's judgment. Your Majesty, you are correct. They really broke out. Tim Mothi ordered the team to send off the defense. Hundreds of 1,000 arrows from Tim Modi's side are launched. Soldiers on the other side were shot. A series of screaming pain and falling down. Adhere to the continuation, order to accelerate. He was so angry that he seemed helpless, he thought. Even if this success 7 times failed, we also have to try. Get 10 facts about these weapons. New 1. I just finished the fight on Tim Modi's side. I've been thinking about Tim Modi's weapons. These monsters are not just hurting. There's also a round tube that can shoot out the explosive. Tim Modi can beat him up like that. Tim Modi's side. Fishing leader. To urge the army to go forward and destroy the. Kill them all, protect the city. Tim Mo is in the back. I can see the conspiracy on their side. Really, there's this weapon that never existed. They will prioritize. Collect 10 pieces of intelligence, like the general. I'll give it to you next. As the great advance bravely. Your Majesty, please rest assured. Like 5 screaming, to chase those on the side of evading the weapon. Stay away from it. Like a dagger with his axe. To resist the blow of the. I screamed out loud and screamed at the shit. Don't cut any more. Do you know this stuff? How high is the cost of manufacturing? That sounds like talk. Restore the contemplation. What he's saying is that this thing is expensive. It's not completely indestructible. A little bit of recognition of the power of. The power is also strong. It can make my axe break. After the retainers of the. Get information about weapons. He held up a sign for the restoration of knowledge. I was delighted to see the intelligence that was there. He's happy to run away from your body pretty well. I don't have time to play with you. Angered fisherman. That's what the hell I'm going to do. As the great prepare to chase, Tim Modi stopped like a general. The goal has been achieved. Stop your hands like a bewildered king. As a great compliment to His Majesty Tim Modi. This time, he relied on the fishing plan in the pot. The combination of mountain terrain is amazing. We're not just winning. He managed to get a large number of soldiers to surrender. There is a famous battle. Take the news that you've recovered and send it out. In front of the soldiers. Caught by Tim Modi's soldiers. He is suffering, please. Let me go, I will never surrender. The other soldier said, please forgive me. We are also the people of His Majesty Tim Mo. You can't hurt us. Tim Modi, after being praised by Niu Dai. I asked you after this battle. A declaration of war on adventure, of course. Are you still optimistic? The Taurus firmly confidently replied. Of course, Your Majesty and Your Majesty will join forces. The next day is as sure as today. The match was won in a row. Listen to what Niu says. The prisoners of the know-it-all.